Today on American Beef Ranch, we've got to take care of the chickens, take care of the cows, and then winterize some stuff before it starts freezing next week. Welcome back to American Beef Ranch. Don't freak out. I'm watering my chickens with this weed sprayer that never had any spray in it. So I actually bought that back in 2021, right before, like when we bought the farm and we were trying to decide, you know, what we were gonna do. If we were gonna, you know, farm, ranch, be organic, not be organic. So then we decided to be organic, and I never used it, you know, which I'm glad. And now I'm gonna use it to water chickens because we've moved the chickens. If you didn't know, well, some of them, because some of the other ones don't listen. But we're gonna grab some food, dump some stuff out of the bed of this pickup, and go get them watered, and then on to the next thing. You ever look at something and wonder where all the junk comes from? Like, that's how I feel about this pickup. But there should not be this much junk in there, but there is. So, other things we've got to do, we need to clean the shed, pack up all this extra stuff in the shed that's out here, because this all needs to go in the shed. This truck I gotta clean out because it just would be smart to clean out. Organize tools, all the stuff that you do to winterize. Before I get too excited, I'm gonna walk back inside and get another jacket. It's a little chilly. Another layer on underneath. Warmer gloves. What's weird about this fall so far is it's been really humid here. We live in the high desert, but we are not used to this humidity at all that we've been having. So obviously the cold bites a little more. What chickens should look like, or what their pens should look like, just out here on pasture doing their thing. So we'll get these guys watered. I'll try to show you. So basically we just calculate their need of water, simple math, and then we just add a little extra. And so I'm out here 2 times every day, in the morning, and we tried to in the early afternoon to fill these up. I just rinse out some pans because we are in freezing temps, so having anything else unless we had power would be different. So, you know, it is what it is. But just get it started. And I don't know, it may have froze last night and maybe I had water in my hose. Nope, there it goes. So there we go, some water. Rinse out. I still don't think I'm getting them enough water. They just seem really thirsty every time I water them, so probably have to try to water them 3 times a day, maybe. We'll see. They're actually a lot better today. Yesterday they were jumping all over each other trying to get water, so we're getting better. See if we can get some double trouble going. Feeding in some water. I've got a bag of feed in every single one of the tubs. They were not empty. If they were empty, obviously these girls would be hungry. They'd be rushing it, and you can see that the feed barrels just have a few hens around pecking. We try to keep feed in front of them all the time, 100% of the time. Just let them have whatever they want. You can see they're out here on orchard grass. There's a lot of orchard grass in this part, but there's alfalfa in here too. The manure load under the trailer is starting to get a little bit high, so I'm probably going to move that in the next few days. But the plan is obviously to fix that roof bar that fell down, but to put a roof over these roof bars. So basically we will trim this off with an upright, have a rafter, and then have couple, you know, rafters every 4 feet along here, plywood over the top, plywood on the sides. That way we give them more space to roost at night with a roof and another place to help keep the wind off of them. I also think the back door here, what we're gonna do for winter is cover this up and just help keep the wind from flowing through this trailer and running through the trailer. We're also thinking about adding some extra nest boxes on the outside, some rollaway nest boxes, the nice ones that you just buy, and we can literally screw them to the side of this trailer without adding too much width on this side. I was thinking about adding roost bars to this side of the trailer, but it just isn't going to work. We're not going to be able to get it around because this is already basically, you know, 12, 14, 15 foot wide, and that's about as wide as we really can have it right now with the gates we have set up. Long term, we will have double 32-foot gates to get into every field and every pasture somewhere that's easy to access. So we will be adding that sometime in the future. But right now we just have, you know, roost bars and standard old school nesting boxes. Getting a couple hens to lay. We need to re-shave those. And, you know, they're starting to lay more, which these girls are young, they're pullets, and they are basically 18 weeks. Ouch. They are basically 18 weeks old. That hurt. They went 3 more brain cells. So they're fed, they're watered. We're gonna come back later and give them more water, but right now I'm going to throw all these bags away up at the dumpster, and also thinking about, I've got to re-electrify this fence somehow to just keep them protected from coyotes, because we're having a lot of coyotes around. They haven't messed with them yet, but they will. And then once I get those bags thrown away, them naughty cows over there got to get put up, and I have got to fix a couple spots in the fence. So I'm headed down the road here to go get cows in, but I wanted to show you, these are our 2 18-month-old Red Angus small frame bulls, and like, they just look better all the time. Like, I'm super happy with these guys. So this is Blackjack's half brother. He's awesome. I know who his dad is. His dad was a younger bull, but a very impressive bull. So we're excited about him, and obviously we know that his mom just puts off calves that are awesome. This one, I would imagine it's going to be a little bit slower maturing, but he's going to end up being the bigger bull, the one that is has a little bit bigger frame size. Where this is a 3 frame size, he's probably 3.5, 4 frame size. His dad was incredible, and his dad was 8 years old when he got here, and he just worked, and he worked all the time. So a little bit slower maturing, and you can kind of see that, but still, I think for what we're trying to do, the kind of calves we're trying to put off, you know, we'll look at him now as an 18-month-old and an 18-month-old. So let's see what they would look like next May when they would be 24 months old, right? And at that point, they would be considered butcher age for us, 24 months. And we'll look at them then, and I bet we're going to be impressed. I'm already pretty impressed with how far they've come. So I'm just excited to see what happens. And like you see, this is a really small frame steer that's actually needs to go to the butcher. I mean, he's just fat and sassy. So he's one we got to get in. But you can see they respect that hot wire. We just got to make sure that the other parts of the fence are up. So go gather some cows. Down here at the other end of the pasture now are cows. Blackjack. What are you doing? They're over here having neighborly relations with my mother's cows. It basically means stand at the fence and yell at them, which is fine. No harm, no foul. They're not out, but I mean, they're still in the pasture. At some point they will come into this pasture, so it's gonna happen. But either way, we're gonna put up. Come on, boys and girls. So right, we're here on the south end of the pivot of my mom's place, the lease farm. We got to go out the northeast corner of this farm, and then once we're out of the northeast corner, we've got to go about another, I don't know, third of a mile to the east to put these cows up, and they know where they're going. They're gonna run right back to the gate. The other thing is that the only water they have access to is over there. So they don't go far, they always come back, but we just need to try to keep them in a little bit better this time. You can see, there they go, running back across there, because they're all out. The same food that's on this side is on that side. It was the same stuff. It's corn stalks and stuff around the edges, and I don't think there's more on one side than the other. But just push them along, push them along. There's a lot of undergrowth though. We definitely have some weed things we need to work on for next year. We did pretty good this year, but we can do better. They're running on their own. I don't know why they're so excited, but they are. Cows are doing their thing. Like I said, they pretty much know right where to go. I mean, it is what it is. So I wanted to show you here in the lease farm. You guys can see this area is right here where the ruts are really deep because the ground was super soft. And I've explained that the pump overflows and goes down this ditch, what used to be a gravity ditch. They used to irrigate off this ditch, but we don't anymore. So something we need to work on is this overflow system. There's a sinkhole here that takes away a lot of the water, like most of the water. It'll take it away. I did put some stuff in it this year. Thinking that was a bad idea. Probably shouldn't have dumped all that junk in there, but my goal is to, this can stay here for drainage for now until we're able to move the pump up to the ditch. But right here, basically, we're gonna clean this up and take out the rest of this so we can farm across this, because it's ridiculous to have to go around this thing. If we have to go around this part of it, okay. But and then be able to farm around it, we'll be able to clean all this up, because none of the, I don't know why, but nothing I planted right here grew. You can see how short this corn is. Like, it didn't grow at all. So being able to clearly define where the edges are, and then hopefully we'll be able to take out some little rock piles that are around. That's kind of the goal, is just, like I said, slowly improve the farm. That big rock pile, we're pretty sure, I don't know if you guys can see that one right there. We're pretty sure that one we can drop the top on, clean up a bunch of the rocks, put some dirt back over it, and go to town. And we're pretty sure we can make this field pretty continuous. So, you know, that's exciting for the future, you know, that we wouldn't have to farm around all these rock piles, which it's fine, but it just takes time and money. And then the worst part about it, if you know, like this pivot, right? This pivot we planted, it's 120 acres planted. It goes up on that hill there that we don't farm because of rocks, and all these other places that it gets because of rocks, right? Anytime we put fertilizer through the pivots, I mean, over there it's not wasted as much because it's pasture and the cows can use it, and we'll be able to rotate cows in there and build a fence and do all that stuff. But on the other, you're wasting money on top of rock piles. So like this pivot, I have to plan for 140 acres of fertilizer through the pivot when I'm only having 120 of crop ground. So just kind of one of those deals. But it's just a thing we deal with. I went ahead and came down here and opened this gate because the cows ran right out the northeast corner and right up to the pasture where we added that pivot behind my house. So they're there. That gate was actually down, so they kind of probably got out there. And then also they pushed through the end of this panel past this wire. So I'm gonna have to grab another panel to stick right there, secure this gate better, and we should be able to keep the cows more in. And we also have the hot wire that needs a little work because I may have had a blonde moment, I guess you would say. Let's go chase some cows and look at that new pasture that we, you know, got going at the end of the year. They all ran right back into the corner of this pasture, right back into basically the watering hole, because they usually have a water tank there, and they probably will have a water tank there again this summer. But you can see how green this pasture is, how much it came up, and throughout the weeds you can see it. Trying to figure out the best route. I don't think we're gonna seed it. I think we're just gonna water it and let what grows grows. We're gonna mow it, water it, mow it, water it, mow it, water it, over and over and over again. And just clean it up, pick up the rocks, concrete, anything else that comes around. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of grass and rocks. Really, I'm stuck on a rock. Yeah. Oh, but apparently my water's been leaking. Well, that's great. What the heck? What in the heck? So, apparently, okay, I guess I see why they haven't came back to this pastures, because they have water. I thought this was off, but I guess not. The hydrant's shut off. I'll have to come back later and undo that hose, but like, what the heck? Make a mud hole. Come on, let's go. Yep. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Y'all know where to go. Come on. You know right where to go. Come on. Come on. Go on, Blackjack. Go on. Hep. 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 Come on, boys and girls. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hitting your dinner plate in 18 months. Cows are such interesting creatures, but it's like they knew they wanted to be back here, because they are. This 15 acres is going to be theirs on this pivot. We do need to figure out the sprinkler package on the pivot, whether we're going to leave the... We've got to fix the sprinkler package, just like the other pivot we had so much trouble with. This one was set up by the same people, so we know it's wrong because it's the same kind of pivot and the same kind of sprinklers. So we have to get that fixed. But really, I mean, we've already got the solution. We just got to apply the solution. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this tower's kind of wonky. Somebody used the wrong spanner rods or brace rods or control rods, whatever these rods are called, whoever you got. And you see they modified some. So what happened is these are 170-foot spans on this pivot, but there was actually one span that was 185 feet. It had a 15-foot extension, so it had an extra V-jack, which are those things, and it had a different set of control rods. So basically what I have to do is I need to measure the control rods between the V-jacks for that pivot, and then find the right ones and make sure these ones are correct, so that we get that wonkiness out of the pivot. Because honestly, I don't want to look at it. It doesn't look very good, and it comes right down in front of the house, and for the plans I have for the entranceway and stuff, it just makes sense to make it nice. I'm gonna grab this panel to fix that hole. Got a whole bunch of junk to pick up too in this place. That hole is fixed for now. We got to rebuild a whole bunch of fence. I mean, going with a different style fence anyway, so I have to rebuild a whole bunch of fence. What? I've got to put this gate up, but I should go check that water trough just to be sure. It does a really good job of staying unfrozen. It didn't freeze last night, so it should be fine, but I'm just gonna go look to be sure it's good. Why are you so jumpy? Come on now. Hello, 39. So checking on the water tank. Oh man, looking pretty good, really. Got a thistle in there, but other than that, Looking pretty good. Just keeping up with the cows and it's staying unfrozen. Everybody happy, happy, happy? Yeah, so that cow, I'm pretty sure it's not bred. That sucks. Them bulls are just on her and won't stop. Where's Blackjack at? Where's Blackjack at? Oh, he's right there too. He's right there. Hi, Blackjack. Hi, buddy. So let's see. Butcher steer. Butcher steer. For next year, butcher steer. 38 will be butchered next year. Number 9 will be butchered next year. What? What do you think? Yeah. Yeah. So we do need to wean and work cattle. We'll have to do that here sometime, probably in December, probably the 1st or 2nd week of December we'll do that. It'll be cold, but it is what it is. I do need to fix my brush guard. The bolt came loose. Then I'm done with cows. I don't know really what, but I got things to do. I've got a whole list. It's just pick your poison. You guys almost let me forget to shut this gate. I wonder. I have so much junk in this pickup. I've got to clean this pickup truck. Get this better, hopefully. That's a lot better than it was. Hopefully they won't screw with that now, because they've been all over Kingdom Come and they all know that it's all the exact same. Okay, we are at our pump station on the home farm and skunk tracks. That's scary. The thing we need to work on today, or get done today, is number 1. You can see we have 1 pump rebuilt, 2 pump rebuilt. That pump burned up also. So this pump here on the end, the 20 horse, the workhorse of this one's been the workhorse for quite a while. It burned up too. So we will be taking it off, taking it to town and getting it rebuilt. So we will have 3 new pumps, basically 3 refurbished pumps, rebuilt pumps, basically new pumps. Anyway, we're gonna get this guy off, but then also I need to grab all of my injection pump stuff. So this injection pump, that injection pump, all this stuff to go with us back to the house so it can get stored for winter because it's going to freeze. And then let's check our sump. That actually looks pretty clean. Look at all those. I don't know if you can see, but there's a whole bunch of worms down there in the water. So, but I guess just that bag gotta get out, really. But we'll get this guy off and get it ready to be rebuilt. So basically I just need to get this off, unbolt 8 bolts, and then I'm going to leave it here until Monday because it is Saturday, and I'll come down with the backhoe and just grab it off its mount. That's because it's the best place for it to be, is right where it's at. Let's see if I can get this electrical stuff loosened up. I'm going to need another set of pliers, and I don't have another set of pliers. By some miracle, I was able to find my other set of pliers, my nice set of pliers, and of course, oh, he can get in there. I think he can get it done. No, really. Well, that's reasonable easy. What is that? See if these screws won't break. Holy cannolis. Oh boy. That probably didn't help. Yeah, that's never a good thing. but that's not what caused this pump to burn up. So this pump, unfortunately, this pivot broke down. It sat here and watered these pumps, and they're not covered. That's what burned up this pump. So what we are going to do in the future, however, is build a cover over the top of these pumps before we start irrigating next year. So 3-phase pumps, so that means they have 4 wires. They have a ground, which is screwed in back here with a big flat head, and they have basically 3 wires. And if the rotation is wrong, you just switch to the wires and life goes on. So some are connected with NSIs, which are big terminals with Allen head screws. This one has wire nuts. So we'll split this tape. So all the wires are disconnected now. Well, they will be. There you go. All the wires are disconnected that were for the power wires. Now I gotta get this ground out. I only have my little screwdriver, so I hope this thing comes out. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so pull that. Pull those wires. So this will be here for us to connect to the pump when it comes back, or the new pump, or whatever it turns out to be. Anymore, these electric motors, they used to all just get rewound and you'd reuse them, but on these littler ones anymore, it's cheaper just to replace the motor, refurbish the pump head. So down here where the impeller is, they'll check it out, make sure it's good, put a new thrust ring in it, you know, machine it if they need to make sure that you get the life and the energy out of the, or the efficiency out of the pump that you need. So I will close this back up. I think it's nothing about this is hard. So then we just have to take off bolts. And it looks like I replaced the bolts because I replaced this valve last year or so. So hopefully these bolts aren't too difficult to take off. But what I am going to do, I'm going to go put these wire nuts in the pickup in a spot where I can keep them, put my other tools up, and then we'll grab some wrenches. All right, let's see how difficult. Oh, that's not too bad. One bad thing about the design or this layout of everything is you can't get power tools in here to loosen anything. Like, you just can't. And this pump station was built before, like, it was back when battery power tools were first starting to really become more popular. So it's not that they were readily available. And still, like, I remember I had a 1/2-inch impact back then, and it can't do, I mean, 1/10 of what my 1/2-inch impact can do now. So, you know, there's a lot to be said for that. But I think this pump station is probably due for a refresh. I just don't know what that entails. I really would like to take it apart, have the 3 pumps feed into a single manifold, and that manifold feed into a filter, and then that from the filter go down into the outlets for the pivots. Because this pump station, hopefully next year, will be feeding less pivots, more pivots, but all small ones and not the big pump, or not the big pivot. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, that's great. Sometimes it's faster to grab the cutting torch, but I think they're going to come off today. Maybe. Oh, hey, look, we're winterizing too. That's great. Actually, it really is good. Oh, that reminds me, we got to go back out to the lease pivot and open that one up. Alright. All these other bolts are stuck, so I'm going to have to go get some more leverage, but I'm gonna let this pump drain. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm gonna drop off a couple things at my grandparents' house that are in the bed of the truck that are theirs. And then we're gonna go drain another pivot, because I forgot the lease pivot is at the very bottom of a hole, and it's gonna be full of water too. All right, we are out here at the lease pivot now. So remember, pump station's up there, and I don't know if you can tell, but that's uphill, and the top of the pump comes out probably close to the top of the pivot point there. So I would imagine there's water in here. I don't know, it may have leaked out, I never know, but there is a plug right there that I can access. Oh yeah, we got water. So perfect. That water is going to drain out. And we won't freeze and explode stuff on this pivot. So like I said, that whole pipe is filled. This pipe is probably filled as well. So I'm glad we came down here and done this. Another thing that's been bothering me, and I don't know, you guys can probably tell. Clunk. This pivot, just like all summer long, will not stay running in reverse. I don't know what it is. It just will not. I've been having problems with the fuses. The fuses look good. So what I'm going to do is, while we're out here, we got to get this figured out. Because first off, this pivot is not parked in a good place for winter. It needs to be, it's up on the hill. It needs to be moved down here into this lower spot. Up on a hill's never good. The wind can blow. You know, we're just trying to protect the investments on these farms as much as we possibly can. So let's go to the tower, see if we can find anything that went wrong, because it's one of the towers I worked on a bunch this winter. And then from there, we will go to the phase converter, start her up, and see if we can get this pivot to its winter rest home. I'm not sure. I've looked at everything. I did work on this tower. I'm pretty sure I put this center drive on. Oh, I know I did. Put that center drive on here this year. Looked up in the tower box, nothing. I kind of went around everything and checked it over. So what I think happened is, I think these motors are thermally protected. They're internally thermally protected, so that if they get hot, they'll stop. I think this motor overheated because one of these gearboxes is bad. Because I remember these funky tired things, one of them leaked pretty bad. So I'm gonna go to the phase converter and try to start it, because I bet it'll move. I have a feeling it's gonna move. All right, let's see if oh. Yep, it's moving. So I'm gonna get it so the safety system clicks back in, and then I'm gonna go down there to that tower and listen to it move and see if I can determine exactly what's going on. Once it gets, so the safety system's back on now. Once it gets a little straighter, I'm gonna turn up the percentage though. That sounds great. I'm gonna guess the leaky gearbox is out of oil. So it's like, this one's been leaking all summer. So it's like, do you just put more oil in it? Let it keep leaking? No. You replace the gearbox. $500 a pop. Because it's not the other one, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you can see it in that shaft. So that's all in the first tower. That's not on the fifth tower. Let's go look at the fifth tower. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure it's something in a gearbox gets stuck or tight or something and cause it to thermally overload. But I don't know. I just don't know. You know, it's one of those things like, how much does it cost to replace every gearbox on this pivot? Well, a lot. You know, by the time I do it, you know, and the labor and stuff involved, 10 grand. So probably 8,000 parts, 2,000 labor. That's probably fair. Maybe not. Maybe I could get them all done in a day. 16 in one day. That'd be a pretty good workout. But so maybe a couple $100 in labor. So $8,500, $9,000. Still really frustrating. All right. Well, now we got to go work on the hot wire a little bit, and we'll get these cows better situated, and then once this pivot gets down here in this low spot, we'll be able to kill the power for the winter and call it good. I am going to leave the drops wrapped for now so they're a little higher, so the cows don't screw with them quite as much, but we'll see. All right, you got your pins out. Here's the problem, children. They're pissed because I put these panels up and kept them in. Which ones are you? Number 40, 39. I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were being good. What's this one? Hey, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Hey, cow, cow, cow. They have no respect for my authority. Uh-huh. I caught you. Go. Go do something else. Go find feed. There's so much food out there. You guys are being lazy. Go. You just go. I'm disappointed in you, number 39. What's that one over there, huh? Who are you? Who are you? Hey. Oh, yes. I just tell by looking at you that you're one of my problem children. Yeah. 3-year-old. Yeah, she's a 3-year-old. She's a pain in the butt. She's a pain in the butt. Well, the cows are staying in. I have my fence fixed mostly. I do have one more part that's quite embarrassing that I will show you. And then I've got a lot of work at home I gotta do with the chickens. Ugh. All right, same thing again. This pivot point on the home farm, our main pivot, is in a low spot. The pump station is up on that hill, and then the water also gets pumped up that hill to that. So I would imagine there's water in here. So let's bust it open and see. A whole bunch of water did come out of there, as you guys can see. So that is good. That is opened up. If any more water comes out the bottom, good. It won't crack or freeze or screw up our elbow that we fixed. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless. We'll see you next time on American Beef Ranch.